Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between EnTe versus HoT. This game taking place here, well, on Last Refuge. Over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have EnTe spawning as the, maroon undead. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have HoT spawning as the blue night elf. This is red versus blue or maroon. It's a little bit than the standard, red shade of red here. And, this should be a great matchup. This was taken from the DreamHack WarCraft 3 open qualifier for Europe. I like how DreamHack did try and change things up for 2020, but my real hope and my real goal, or not my goal, my real hope is that, with this kind of great pause that 2020 has given us, everyone stays at home a little bit more, that there will be another season or two to try and bring Warcraft 3 to the forefront and, have another event that was close to me and be able to participate and help. Would really love to cast an event live in person. I know Todd tried to line me up as well, but things didn't work out at DreamHack, and maybe there will be another DreamHack Anaheim where Warcraft 3 is front and center. Anyways, we are looking at an Acolyte going out and scouting out already. Hey, Xander Dorn. Hey, Arts. How are you doing? And I don't know, Xander Dorn, since you know maps so much better than the typical viewer, what are your thoughts that the Ring of Protection +4 and the Talisman of Evasion are in the same drop table? Even effectively, the Talisman of Evasion does less for effective hit points than Ring of Protection +4. What are your thoughts? Let me know in comments below. Also, I did see a lot of the new comments or the new patch notes, and I greatly appreciate like the Helm of Valor being a little bit more powerful. The Helm of Valor and the Medallion of Courage and all of those dual items. As we're looking, wait a second, what is going on here? I didn't even notice this. HoT going for a Fire Lord first. They're close enough to each other. Okay. It's like one additional point of armor. So yeah. Anyways, HoT gonna go ahead and come down here. Gonna go ahead and attack. And HoT already living up to his name, going for a Fire Lord first. Fire Lord is not your typical standard hero whatsoever, and rather strange to actually see the Fire Lord engage here, as we're looking at lava spawns perhaps trying to be mass built up here. Lava spawns, if you know, the more they attack, that is when they split, and it looks like it's because EnTe is going for this expansion strategy. All right, there is a quick detonation right there. There is another lava spawn. Here is some damage, and what is going to go on here? All right, we are looking at a lot of damage coming back across here. Lava spawn trying to make their way out. This one particular lava spawn needs to get attacked very quickly. There's a death coil, and this lava spawn is trying to back away, and there is a split of a lava spawn right there. So we already have two lava spawns already out, and this is a very aggressive tactic to try and shut down your opponent, as we're looking at this lava spawn coming back here again. All right, more damage coming back across, as we're looking at a low hit point ghoul. Is it going to get taken down? One or two more shots? Yes, it does get taken down. There is a split as well, down to 26 hit points, down to 218, or up to 218 after that split. So there is now 4 units out onto the field, and that is a lot of damage already. Can it split again? I do not think so. There is no way to increase the attack speed of these lava spawns, as we are looking at a cancellation of that gold mine and going for a Fire Lord first to try and shut down the expansion is incredibly important. Not long ago, I made a comparison between all level 3 items versus Circlet of Nobility, and I remember that the Talisman of Evasion and the Ring of Protection came out to pretty much the same result. I think of 15% damage reduction, and actually I think you might be right. 15% damage reduction compared to Talisman of Evasion is probably right about the same. Now that I think about it a little bit more, yeah, you're right. No, it's actually it would actually be Ring of Protection +4, right? So there's actually a little bit of a slight advantage, not as much, maybe 6% effective hit point difference, which doesn't really amount to all that much. What I will say though is I wish the Belt of Giant Strength, the Robe of Magi, and if they don't up Circlet of Nobility, I wish the Belt of Giant Strength, the Ogre, Belt of Giant Strength, Robe of Magi, and Boots of Quel'Thalas were actually 8 8 stats as opposed to just 6. Reason being is Circlet of Nobility provides 6 stats. Why would the Boots of Quel'Thalas, Robe of Magi, and why would those items only produce 6 stats as well, considering how different they are on the drop table? Anyways, Fire Lord gonna go ahead and drop in another Lava Spawn coming in already, Naga Sea Witch, and this is HoT, coming in hot with dual mercenary heroes. And one of the strengths of the mercenary hero is how quickly they enter play. By coming into play that much more quickly, because you don't really need to train them, you do get a small window of opportunity of strength over your opponent. However, as the game goes along, that advantage tend to falls apart just a little bit, as we are now looking at, well, Soulburn and taking damage over time and a little bit of a silence there. All right, in comes this Lava Spawn, getting in some extra damage. Death Knight staying at level 1 right now, as the Naga Sea Witch is still engaging here. All right, Acolytes and all of these other units are being forced to fight. EnTe having an additional Acolyte here, not being able to do very much of anything, as the Fire Lord may actually get to level 3 here. Tome of Strength being picked up. No, sorry, Naga Sea Witch staying at 1 as well. Hey, Steven, how are you doing? As things are getting, well, all together around. Mantle of Intelligence, well, dropped down there. Fire Lord is an agility-based hero, even though it does have summons. We are looking at an Ancient of War off over here, and the +6 isn't too bad. It's like 150 hit points and regen. And if it's on a strength-based hero, that's good damage. And if you don't like it, you can always sell it. That's true, but I don't know. It almost feels like you're like. I don't know, it feels bad, right? Like, if you get a +6, but it's not the +6 item you want for, it's either very good or just a lot of gold, right? And considering that and then you can buy a Circlet of Nobility even after you sell it, and it seems like that's the better item. I'm gonna be shocked if EnTe wins this with the DK level 2 at this state in the game. Well, yeah, that is a problem here, but then again, undead heroes being behind in level early on is nothing an undead player is, well, surprised about. Naga Sea Witch now being forced to back up here. We're looking at a lot of archers and piercing damage. This is a massive piercing damage army. And are we perhaps going to actually go for a Priestess of the Moon as the 3rd hero to try and increase that Lava Spawn? And a little bit of Death Coil, and Naga Sea Witch down to 29 hit points is going to be able to finish off that, as the Death Knight now trying to back away. Naga Sea Witch falls at level 2, and the Lich falls at level 1. There is damage over time, as we see, down to 13 hit points. Is the Inferno, is it going to come to an end? 8 hit points, 10 hit points, and, well, stays alive. Unholy Aura, enough right there to do, and no detonation there. Death Knight now down to 17 hit points, down to 13 hit points. What is going on? Ogre Magi, I believe, gets the final, or was it the Archer? No, I believe the Ogre Magi got the final shot off, or as one of those other troll berserkers, as the Death Knight falls at level 2. Fire Lord needs to get in a little bit more mana as well. And, well, yeah, a bad way to go, losing it to a creep, but he did prevent the experience, which is incredibly important. Now, in a game like this, are we going to see volcanoes? I don't know. For some reason, it would seem to happen only in the year 2020 would we see volcanoes erupting, as the Fire Lord now gets to level 4. All right, Forest Troll Trapper going to get taken down here. If you add Talisman of Evasion instead, the armor, yeah, you're right. Only 21 hit points less. Okay, perfect. The only difference I would say is that Talisman of Evasion, because it does not stack with Evasion or Drunken Brawler, is worse. Ring of Protection is always effective. Talisman of Evasion could be a quick sell item always, since it doesn't always work. Talisman of a Ring of Protection will always give you those effective hit points, while Talisman of Evasion may be a bit of a miss. Circuit of Nobility now picked up there. One of my favorite items to talk about. Yeah. A couple of other things to note. Claws of Attack +6 is now Claws of Attack +5. A great drop in, or a significant drop in damage, considering, well, everything there. And look, a Robe of Magi there. So look, Circuit of Nobility 6 stats, Robe of Magi 6 stats. The fact that the Robe of Magi is a little bit more effective, just because it's on the Naga Sea Witch, well, yeah. I don't know. Discussions for balance is always nice. True, the talisman doesn't stack, also not with itself. Yeah. So I guess that's the other thing. If you get 2 Wings of Protection plus 4 on a Goblin Alchemist, that Goblin Alchemist is absolutely beefy. If you get 2 Talisman of Evasion on a Goblin Alchemist, you will probably most likely just quickly sell one. All right, Orb of Venom on that Fire Lord. Are we looking at a 3rd hero at this point? No, we are not. And this would actually be something I would like to see. Getting up a Priestess of the Moon for True Shot aura, and then giving that Priestess of the Moon another Orb of Venom to double stack that Orb of Venom and get in that damage over time. Obsidian Statue coming back across here. We're looking at level 2 Death Knight, level 2 Lich. EnTe does seem a little bit behind since he is not used to not having his expansion at this point, as a Staff of Preservation saves right there, as this archer most likely will get taken down. Oh wow, what is going on there? It goes, it finally gets finished off. Orb of Venom coupled with that Soul Burn, that is a large amount of damage over time. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability transferred over to that Naga Sea Witch as we're waiting for the cooldown, and the Death Knight may end up getting, well, finished off there. There's that Scroll of Town Portal. Naga Sea Witch says, thank you very much. I'm going to take out your Death Knight and, well, run on home. All right, beautifully played, beautifully done by HoT here, just absolutely shutting down his opponent, and that Death Knight had just gotten to level 3. Getting to level 3 right there, that means it is going to be a longer resurrection time, or more expensive, as a ghoul going to pick him up from the tavern. All right. The big tavern in the sky, I guess is what I should call it. When heroes die, they go to the big tavern in the sky, getting ready to pick up. Yeah, I know Undead wins here if Night Elf plays right. Undead wins if Night Elf plays right. Steven, that's the most confusing thing. Like, are you saying that Night Elf, even if Night Elf plays right, Undead wins? And level 4 on the Fire Lord, level 3 on the Naga Sea Witch, getting close to level 4. Circuit of Nobility was transferred over to that Fire Lord there, and you can see the Fire Lord having, well, plus 4 to every single stat. Very, very powerful indeed, as we're going to see a little bit of an engagement. All right, we're looking at Staff of Preservation. Archers now trying to pull back. Bears are going to join in on the fight. Fork Lightning across all of those. Well, weak skeletal minions. Not going to really do much, as the Dark Ranger is now on the field as well. No Staff of Preservation on that bear. Bears are trying to dive on in, and they are taking a lot of damage because of that Orb of Corruption and that negative armor. It looks as another bear is going to get taken down, as the lava spawns are trying to join in on the fight again. Are they going to be able to do all that much, as another, well, Crypt Fiend gets taken down? One very low hit point lava spawn somehow still in this fight here, as the Naga Sea Witch is taking a lot of damage. This lava spawn, what is it doing? It just needs to get, like, sneezed on by another unit. Not quite sure why that isn't happening, as that lava spawn is trying to slip away. There goes a Frost Nova. Staff of Preservation there. Finally, that lava spawn is taken out, as the units are all trying to back up. All right, things are starting to go back the other way. EnTe getting a little bit of that advantage once more. No, he is saying he won't know how Undead will win if Night Elf plays right. Ah, I see. Yeah, I don't know how Undead wins here if Night Elf plays right. Okay, must have misread that. Yeah, if Night Elf plays right, I don't know how EnTe can get back into this game. EnTe is behind on bases right now. He's behind economically. He's behind in terms of heroes. He's behind in terms of supply count. But hero number, I guess, is an advantage that the Undead currently has. We are not looking at a 3rd hero as of yet, and well, if HoT is not looking to close the door on this game, he should be considering trying to get a 3rd hero. If he is trying to win this game quickly, forcing his opponent to engage him, then, well, we should be looking at a larger number of units, as bears are just getting absolutely pelted to death. As you saw right there, bears absolutely torn apart in a matter of seconds, as the Fire Lord is a very intensive mana-based hero. Thank you for that follow. As well, we are looking here on Last Refuge, an Acolyte finally making its way over here to the gold mine, will be setting up and expanding here. Meanwhile, HoT using this opportunity. Oh, I thought he was going to try and clear out to this creep camp. No, just wanted to see if his... Oh, deciding to double back up the ramp again. All right, level 3 lava spawns in position. 700 hit points, 32 to 56 damage. They do move. They have decent piercing damage, and they do split. There's a roar as well, so very big damage across the board. 16 to 18 damage on those archers. We are at Tree of Eternity, and where is the upgrade? Where are the upgrades for improved bows? Apparently, it's not going to be a mass archer army. Tome of Agility being left behind, even though the Fire Lord, nope, Fire Lord decides to go back and read his books. Naga Sea Witch still sitting at level 4. Staff of Preservation brings him back home. Medallion of Courage now has increased strength and intelligence by 4. It will be 5, or that's what they are experimenting with in the next patch. And I guess that's also another reason to increase the Robe of Magi from 6 to 8. If the Medallion of Courage is going to be giving 10 stats, it almost feels wrong that the Robe of Magi doesn't quite give enough either. Anyways, Fire Lord going to be getting into position. Here we are going to try and engage. Whisper coming in around the corner, and there you go. The archers are able to fight in a relatively safe location from behind these trees. The Abomination is not going to really be able to get their Staff of Preservation, saving that bear, as the units are trying to fight from the back here. All right, more units are engaging once more. Fire Lord coming in from the back. How much damage can really be done, as a low hit point Druid of the Claw may need to get Staff of Preservation, but the Fire Lord is going to be able to save it. No, it does not. Lava Spawn is in position. We see Mana Shield coming in. The Destroyer now trying to go after some of those units. Destroyers, well, very powerful right now in this battle, because Lava Spawns are going to be devoured in absolute seconds as the archers and the Dryads are going after those Destroyers here. More damage coming back through. As we're looking at more damage coming in, and once again, all right, Druid of the Claw low on hit points. No Staff of Preservation. No Staff of Preservation. I thought that the cooldown would have been done on one of the 2 Staffs of Preservations, and well, the Fire Lord able to save an archer instead. Not very good at all, as we're now looking at bears who could absolutely get destroyed in a matter of seconds. There goes a Rejuvenation Mana Shield as the battle is coming across. 56 supply compared to 50, and well, EnTe is showing that he does not give up. There goes that Fire Lord, and well, you said that Night Elf needed to play it right. It does not look like Night Elf is playing it right at all, as he loses his level 5 Fire Lord, as we're looking at now a level 4, level 3 from the Undead Heroes. Fire Lord is going to be training up. HoT was able to come out of the gates hot and able to get a big advantage early on with that Fire Lord pressure. But as I mentioned at the start of the game, well, Tavern Heroes generally are strong right out of the gates because of their faster train time. But as the game goes on, I highly doubt anyone would say a level 5 Death Knight is the same as a level 5 a Fire Lord. Death Knight incredibly powerful in leading its army. One of the things that will be changed though is how fast the movement speed is on that Death Knight. That level 2 Unholy Aura for very fast movement speed, incredibly effective, as we're looking at, well, Death Coils coming back across. There goes another bear right there, as the Naga Sea Witch trying to reposition himself, and this is now just looking like the economic advantage of HoT, giving EnTe more and more experience on his heroes. As we're looking at a level 4, and almost level 4 Dark Ranger, the Death Knight and the Lich themselves actually almost level 5. And this game may just end up with the Fire Lord. I would even consider retraining to Incinerate. Yeah. Especially considering that there are destroyers out on the field. Those destroyers will be able to easily devour magic, and I believe, wow, I thought the Fire Lord was resurrected a long time ago. It seems like it was stopped and then restarted. Hence the Fire Lord not being even available at all. But that is an important thing to note. I do believe the lava spawns actually have heavy armor, so the destroyers devour them, get bonus damage, bonus magic damage, and then are able to finish off those lava spawns that much more quickly. Coming back down here, EnTe, gonna perhaps get to level up all 3 of these heroes. Getting the Dark Ranger to 4 is a possibility, Death Knight to 5, and the Lich to 5. If not getting there, getting extremely close, as the units are continuing to fight their way through. We are getting up to level 5 now on that Naga Sea Witch, who has 720 mana. The Medallion of Courage, the Robe of Magi, and the Mantle of Intelligence, all working together right there. A big item indeed, as the Naga Sea Witch still just wandering around. Alright, so far, what is going to end up happening? Death Knight, well, rotating back off to the north, Death Knight is just shy of level 5. The Lich is a little bit shy of level 5, and the Dark Ranger just shy of level 4. Needing to find some creep camps on the map to try and level up, will not be able to do so, as EnTe takes this opportunity to try and set up a third base. 3 bases. Main bases are about to be finished mining here, and well, it may come down to, well, gold management. EnTe has a decent supply advantage going into this next fight. Abominations in position as well. Obsidian statues are there all for healing. And this undead army, the classic undead army, tri-heroes with Crypt Fiends, Abominations, and some obsidian statues, and destroyers in the air, covering a lot here, as the Fire Lord going to be getting in position once more. Alright, Fire Lord, well, it does have Lava Spawn's 1/1 upgrades there, and the, well, Fire Lord is down to 270 mana. Will they be able to fight effectively? Are we going to get enough Moonstones? That is an important question, as the Druid of the Claw able to retreat all the way back. There's a rejuvenation, but you can see how much damage it already is taking, and those destroyers are going to be able to finish off that bear pretty much in no time. Alright, Hippogriffs making their way back over that bear, able to stay alive. Staff of Preservation saving a Dryad in that backfield. Lava Spawn is continuing to fight as well, and well, a little bit of home field advantage would be good for HoT, as he's been trying to close the door on this game consistently. Alright, bear gets taken down. Mountain Giants are finally out onto the field. Death Knight absorbing a lot of damage, has a potion of lesser invulnerability though, so should be able to stick around for a little while longer as damage over time. Are we going to see some Fork Lightning go down onto that Death Knight? No, we are not, as the units are still trying to fight their way through. Death Knight could be in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to see a Soul Burn, as the Fire Lord is now down to 350 hit points, is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Staff of Preservation saving him as the Fire Lord teleports back out of that fight, and a whole bunch of low hit point Crypt Fiends also able to escape away as well. EnTe getting every bit of hit points out of his units, sticking around in that fight, causing a little bit of pressure, but who really won in that battle? Difficult to say. Death Knight and Lich both got high up here. We're looking at a Naga Sea Witch using a Clarity Potion while dropping down a whole bunch of mana, finally picking all of them back up. Fire Lord, what is that Fire Lord doing? Double Circlets of Nobility, Claws of Attack +6 for some bonus damage. And, well, Orb of Venom is also on the Naga Sea Witch, so that is important to note. We may see a triple Orb of Venom strategy if a third hero is added in. I would like to see a third hero, as you know your opponent is going to be, well, as the game goes long, something with what Soul Burn coupled with triple Orbs of Venom. That is a good way to try and finish off a unit. You know, Orbs of Venom cannot actually kill a unit, but that final Soul Burn does deal damage over time and could perhaps actually kill the unit after it's taken taken a lot of damage because of all of that Orb of Venom. That is actually a pretty interesting strategy that I would like to see if it actually comes up in this match. I promise I have not seen the match here. All right, Orb of Venom deals an additional 6 damage per second, I believe, for 9 seconds. So, what? 6 damage for 9 seconds. So that's what, 54 times 2, 108. If you actually times it by 3, that would be a lot more. At this point, third hero might just be too fragile. That is true. Priestess of the Moon, however, it would be a ranged unit in the far back here. And the Death Knight trying to get within range, the Soul Burn could, in fact, silence the Death Knight long enough to try and protect that Priestess of the Moon. Naga Sea Witch also having Mana Shield is temporarily protected. So yeah, having a Mana Shield as well is going to be a very difficult hero to take out. All right, we are entangling this gold mine here. This gold mine is already haunted. Both sides sitting inside their respective bases saying, you know what, you bring the fight over to me, as we see, well, triple destroyers taking out some of these Moonwells. All right, coming back here. All right, Lava Spawn going to be getting into position. Hippogriffs are already in position here. Who is going to deal more damage, as we are looking at massive repairs already underway, trying to keep that as alive. Acolytes quickly taken down. Wisp coming back over. There's some detonations to try and remove all of that precious mana, as the Mountain Giants are on that front line trying to taunt here. Hippogriffs going to start diving in on all of those destroyers, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal, a tactical retreat here after taking down multiple Acolytes. And, well, is he really just trying to get to level 6? That may be the strategy. And as I look at this army, one of the things to consider is how effective is the army at destroying buildings. And you look at the army as it stands right now, the mountain giants with that siege damage is perhaps the only thing that gives them the ability to destroy buildings. But once the Fire Lord and the Naga Sea Witch get to level 6, both of their ultimates are very effective at destroying buildings. Alright, there goes a lava spawn there. Death Knight still sitting at 5. And we're looking at a 76 supplies compared to 79. Volcano and Tornado could melt an entire base in just a second, but the Soul Burn Venom Orb combo, a nice DBS. Soul Burn, yeah. All right, let's go ahead into that next battle. There is a Moonwell, very, very full on hip, very, very full. You want to try and drink everything out of that if you can. Losing full Moonwells is not what you want to be doing, as the Abomination taking a lot of damage over time. You can see that all of that damage right there, that damage over time in the back, slow poison, coupled with double Orb of Venom stacks, and well, how quickly it does add up as we see a Dark Ritual or I believe that was a Dark Ritual to try and deny any sort of experience. All right, now we are going into the denial game. Dark Ritual to get in a little bit more mana on that Lich. Fire Lord going to be coming back across, perhaps picking up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. No, Scroll of Healing. Getting ready to engage. Dryads are all in position, and here we are. Mountain Giants in the front line spot. A little bit of slow poison damage as the Fire Lord, well, I'm sure was spotted overhead. Both sides sitting up on 2 bases right now. Those expansions, however, do not have that much more mining. EnTe's base having a little bit more mining than his opponent. And we may actually run out of gold on a map like this, as both sides don't want to make mistakes and don't seem to be all too excited to try and engage outright. All right, there's a little bit of a taunt right there. Death Knight turning back around to, well, look at the Mountain Giant's smiley face before retreating back again. 80 over 80 supply. Hippogriffs off to the side here. Are we going to get for another engagement? There is another Fork Lightning. It is trading and exchanging mana blows, and that is pretty much it. As well, Orb of Venom, well, does deal that damage over time. As I mentioned, you can see how much damage it is dropping there, as that Lich is taking a lot of damage over time as well. Soul Burn coupled with that Orb of Venom needing a Death Coil, as its damage, well, pretty much all negated from a 600 hit point heal. So what is going on here? Still unsure. Naga Sea Witch, well, trying to fill up all of these Moonwells once more, trying to heal up again. Moonwell balance also incredibly important, as we're going to be going into engagement. Firelord quickly absorbs a lot of damage right there, and that Naga Sea Witch is pretty much going to be immune to any sort of burst damage for quite a bit of time. Fork Lightning coming down across multiple units again. Death Knight trying to retreat back, and you can see his hit points, well, staying steady, even though there is all that healing coming across again. Well, Abomination, well, there goes more damage, and well, we're still looking at a little bit of this standoff here. This standoff where both sides, whoever attacks will end up, well, both armies will lose a lot of units and will end up, well, losing the majority of their units fairly quickly. It's going to be a question of who can bounce back and respond quicker, as EnTe now sitting on 1,800 gold with 1-2 upgrades, going up against 2-2 upgrades here. Who has the better army is the question. There is, I thought there was another Soul Burn cast. Nope, not quite yet. Perhaps we're going to go into a retrain here in just a moment. There is that Soul Burn once more. No Orb of Venom follow-up damage, though, as the units are backing up again. All right. Undead going to be sitting on a large bank of gold. Thank you for the follow. Going to be sitting on a large bit of gold here. And, well, this is actually a very common occurrence in HoT and EnTe's game. They both try and stand back a little bit, and this is one thing I don't know if I agree with on EnTe. EnTe is still mining at this point, even though he has a decent amount of gold in the bank and is now finally in high upkeep. He doesn't want to lose all of any more gold than he has to high upkeep, and now it actually gives HoT a little bit of an economic advantage, as he's mining 14 gold a second compared to 8. As he's doing that, he's going to be able to build up a good bank, and he already has the upgrade advantage over his opponent. This is questionable, but I do not think, I don't know if it will be a critical mistake, or if EnTe is just going to be pushing at exactly 100 supply and trying to win the game outright that way. All right, we've been stuck at these hero levels for the past, what feels like 10 minutes. Both sides not wanting to fight, and now HoT is going into high upkeep as well, and he is going to be going into 100 supply. Is he still mining at this stage? Yes, he is still mining from both of these gold mines, so both players opting to continue to mine even though they are in high upkeep. Probably no critical mistakes since there are no chimeras. That is true. No chimeras does make a big impact on this game. We are now fully upgraded, 3-3 upgrades on the mountain giants and the dryads. Archers are not upgraded at all. They are pretty much just units waiting to be replaced at this point, as the dryads, the bears, and the mountain giants are the only ones with those upgrades. Losing a couple of archers in order to free up supply could actually be a very viable strategy. As we're looking at 99 supply compared to 96. The next patch might give us more chims, yeah, removing that splash damage, the friendly fire splash damage from the chimeras, as we're looking at, well, the mountain giants trying to back away here. All right, there we go. There's a little bit of damage. Units trying to pull back once more. Staff of Preservation does save that mountain giant. It did end up going all the way back home. Is it going to get healed? That is the question, as more attacks could get underway. Death Coil, Frost Nova, straight up onto that Firelord. Firelord is in a little bit of trouble. There's a rejuvenation to try and heal it up once more, as that Firelord, well, at 300 hit points and climbing. A rejuvenation, getting that Firelord back into at least the yellow zone, if not the green zone here, back up to 450 hit points. Needs another rejuvenation for good measure, as well. Druid of the Claw, if it transforms back, will end up not being able to, well, that just transforms back. Kims and Bears will become stronger. Yeah, I do like the upcoming patch, and the fact that they are even trying to balance out the items shows me that they are interested in making WarCraft 3 better and better, and that they are watching the professional scene. They've also even mentioned back to WarCraft by name, saying that they were helping things in terms of all of the balance patches, as we're going to go ahead and get ready to engage here. All right, ready to engage. Ancient of Lore absorbing a large amount of damage. Abominations, Destroyers, Hippogriffs trying to come across here. We are going to be looking at a whole bunch of web. There goes down one Abomination, as the mountain giants are now pushing their way through. A lot of taunt coming across Hippogriffs, with now going into Hippogriff Riders. Chimeras off to the side, and they're going to be able to start poking down those meat wagons pretty quickly, and perhaps even those obsidian statues. All right, Chimeras going to be a big problem. Abominations fighting their way through 100 supply compared to 82, as well. HoT now with this massive army, and the Chimeras coming out of nowhere, causing a bunch of issues here, as he is now at 96 supply compared to 72. All right, Chimera finally taken down. Mountain Giant, it was way too deep, as he does get Staff of Preservation back, as we are now looking at Volcano coming into play. Volcano stunning a bunch of those units here, but there was Silence ready Ranger to shut things down. Death Knight could be in trouble, taking a lot of damage over time there, as he is trying to escape back. Double Orb of Venom causing a little bit of problems. Fork Lightning does not hit the Death Knight. Death Knight down to 169 hit points and trying to fight from the backfield once more. All right, Dark Ranger low on hit points, using a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Silence once again on that Naga Sea Witch and on that Firelord, as they're continuing to fight their way through. A Scroll of Healing used in time to get that Lava Spawn back into that fight. 81 supply compared to 61, and Death Knight says, what happened in that battle? A bunch of Crypt Fiends are going to be able to escape at low hit points, as everyone tries to go back and lick their wounds. All right, a little bit of heals to go down. Goblin Shredder even joined in on the fight. Clarity Potions. Naga Sea Witch needs to get a little bit of mana. Only one Druid of the Claw out on the field that I see. We are looking at a lot more Hippogriffs in the air than I thought at first. Interestingly enough, there are full Moonwells here. The bear should be making their way off over here, as there is this Chimera Roost off to the side. All right, Death Knight, Dark Ranger, Lich are perhaps going to try and put in pressure here, and we are going to get into a bit of an engagement. Both sides will need to protect their expansions here, as the Chimera now making their way over. All right, are they going to be able to pass by these Moonwells first? The Tree of Life here already in position to try and move over and change up spots. Doesn't need to use the Scroll of Town Portal, just going to bring a Tree of Life over into that battle, as more gold is currently being mined as well. All right, level 6, ready to get into position. There is a Roar already. Units now making their way in. Abomination going to be taking a lot of damage here. Double Chimeras. Are we going to see that? Well, Dark Ritual, yes, it is. The Lich able to get the Dark Ritual off in time. actually ended up negative mana. But it does not really matter, as well, it did prevent a good amount of experience gain. Firelord Naga Sea-Witch continuing to fight back here. The corner expansion, or the corner creep camp, still available, but that is basically my only point of critique. Sorry, Xanderdorn, I don't remember what your point of critique was. All that discussion happened during a battle, which was so entertaining. Coming back around, Hippogriffs, well, standing guard, Mountain Giants, well, staying close here. Are these Moonwells being used? They were used to heal up a little bit once more. It is now a Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball, yes, revealing that this expansion is already mining, and this is a weird spot for EnTe. EnTe actually having less gold in his gold mine than his opponent right now, as this, well, Goblin Shredder still, well, going to the trees. 5 wisps in this gold mine, and that is it. We see a 75 supply army coming in from HoT. Crystal Ball, EnTe should just GG now. I don't know. Staff of Preservation bringing the units back once more. Bear gonna go ahead, get a little bit of mana, and, well, perhaps try and join back in on the fight. Does he have a backpack? He does have the backpack upgrade, but I don't believe he's going to be bringing any gifts whatsoever, as we are looking at Staff of Preservations just constantly bringing units back home to try and heal up. Fully upgraded undead units and fully upgraded Night Elf units. All three upgrades. All the archers are now gone. My point is just that they say that Claws of Attack +6 is too strong for a level 2 permanent item, so they reduced it to 5, while I myself see the Circlet of Nobility as the strongest level 2 item at the moment. That's a good point. Well, see, the real problem is probably that the Claws of Attack +6 on intelligence-based heroes is such a big item drop, right? Like having giving Claws of Attack +6 over to an Archmage or a Keeper of the Grove, where the auto attack is not normally that scary, all of a sudden it becoming scary is a bit of an issue. While overall, having a small upgrade to the entire hero isn't nearly as pronounced, right? Where it helps them with a little bit more mana, it helps them with a little bit more hit points, it helps them with a little bit more damage. All of those things together, it upgrades all parts of the hero equally as much. So it's not as pronounced. Like I've been, if you've ever been in a game where you're playing and then all of a sudden you're like, how am I losing my units so quickly? You're like, oh, the Archmage got double Claws of Attack +6. And all of a sudden, like, I actually should be afraid of his attack, and you weren't aware of it at the same time, as opposed to saying the Archmage getting double Circlets of Nobility. You may see an extra Water Elemental. It may be a little bit more difficult to Death Coil and finish off the unit, but it isn't as like, oh my gosh, it comes out of nowhere. Mountain Giants, Chimera is gonna, Mountain Giants and Hippogriffs engaging, Hippogriffs all webbed down. We see a Volcano now being brought down here. Anti-Magic Shell used to try and counteract the silence, and that was a brilliant play there, stunning all of those units, as the units are now trying to dance around their anti-magic potion being used to just absolutely win, or just give a major advantage in that battle there. Abominations continuing to fight once more. Firelord continuing to deal more damage. Lava Spawns are out onto the field. Hippogriffs have poked apart many of those units, as Abominations finally double backing around to try and engage. Fork Lightning, Mana Flare even being used, as well as Chimeras are engaging here continually. Lava Spawns continuing to do all of that pressure and pushing, as a low hit point Druid of the Claw is still somehow in the battle. Level 5 now on that Dark Ranger. Somehow that Dark Ranger is in that spot. Double Mana Flares, however, causing problems, and 78 supply compared to 50. HoT has reversed all of those previous mistakes, and it looks like he's going to be able to come out ahead, but we do now have a level 6 Death Knight with level 3 Unholy Aura. Units are in a massive retreat run, and Naga Sea-Witch with with Mana Shield somehow still able to stay alive. 64 supply compared to 38. What is going on here? The Firelord, well, needs to get a lot of healing. Death Coil, Frost Nova quickly finishes off the unit there, as we may see a Mountain Giant lost as well. 59 supply compared to 41, and I may have spoken a little bit too soon in saying that HoT has gotten back into this game, as now he has lost his level 6 hero. All right, more damage coming back again. And we're looking at the Crypt Fiend trying to head back. Chimeras were unable to keep up with all of the units, and the triple hero army of the undead still winning, or still being able to put down a lot of pressure, fighting inside a Night Elf base. Fork Lightning, we're looking at a very low hit point. Druid of the Claw trying to escape, and it looks like it gets taken down. That final Crypt Fiend blast able to finish it off. All right, those hippogriffs absolutely useless in the sky when there are no destroyers any longer. One goblin shredder in the back. What is going on? We have 2 chimeras and three hippogriffs, and that is it. Fire Lord is trying to get resurrected as we are looking at units getting picked up and dropped off, and that is it. A little bit of orb of venom damage over time as we see that Dark Ranger being forced to retreat back. All right, in comes the fairy dragons. There's mana flares, and in comes chimeras. The web on the Crypt Fiends. That was a brilliant play, getting the web onto the fairy dragons first, allowing the chimeras to follow up right behind and get in a little bit of damage while they are on cooldown. All right, damage starting to add back up once more. Are we going to see some more damage here as we see Fork Lightning finish off the Death Knight? Naga Sea Witch winning that battle there as the Crypt Fiend does get sacrificed for mana, and now a level 6 Death Knight is down as well. 40 supply compared to 38. Fire Lord getting resurrected slowly. Fairy Dragon back there. Hippogriffs flying the friendly skies since there is no other targets available. Double obsidian statues of EnTe may be his saving factor now, as those obsidian statues are providing hit points and mana, and that is, hit points and mana are pretty much the only real resource left. All right, battle is going to be coming across here. Lich is getting ready for that fight. Firelord is going to come back out with no army near him, and that is going to be a problem as we look at the Ancient of Wonders about to get taken out. There's a Staff of Preservation trying to move. Firelord is in position. There is a reveal right there. That Druid of the Claw dangerously low on hit points as there are the Ancient of Wonders trying to attack back as well. Fighting next to the Moonwell. Fork Lightning in position, and we are looking at more engaging and attacking coming back. Chimera very low on hit points, negative armor. Are we going to go after some more Crypt Fiends? Yes, we are. Another Crypt Fiend going to get taken down. Level 7 on the Fire Lord, but is small level 7 advantage is going to really amount to anything at all, as the Obsidian statues are just absolutely well, the reason why EnTe is still in this match. Orb of Venom, so much damage over time. Dark Ranger could be in a lot of trouble. Fork, no, Death Coil able to save right there. Fire Lord still trying to fight back here. Silence was not cast, or the Soul Burn was not cast onto that Death Knight, as the Naga Sea Witch is in the back. Are we perhaps going to try to get a rejuvenation? More fighting underway, and this fight is in the back here. Staff of Preservation moving the Naga Sea Witch from one spot to another, not really doing all that much. Scroll of Town Portal repositioning, as that was a temporary scroll of, or that Scroll of Town Portal was a big right there, as they are still fighting their way through. All right, repositioning all their units. Fire Lord still continuing the fight here. Naga Sea Witch could be in a little bit of trouble. Death Coil on the Fire Lord as the Fire Lord tries to run on back, and there goes the Fire Lord from well, a very well, Chimera should be able to finish off that Chimera, or yeah, Chimera finishing off that unit there. Fire Lord finished off from the Frost Nova, and the Naga Sea Witch by her lonesome self again. 35 supply compared to 26. Level 7 Death Knight, level 6 Lich. Lich does not have Death and Decay. Death and Decay would actually be a great ability right now, as we see damage right there. All right, what's going down? Death Coil onto the Lich. Death Knight still okay for now. Naga Sea Witch now trying to back up. Naga Sea Witch is going to be able to stay alive, uses a Potion of Healing, trying to switch back around, using those Moonwells as best as it can. Is it going to have anywhere to go? Naga Sea Witch about to get taken down. No. While somehow stays alive temporarily. What is going on here? Down to 140, 177 hit points. Does have rejuvenation. There's nothing. There goes a Death Coil down to 43 hit points. There goes that Naga Sea Witch now, as the Lich is backing up, and I've said it again and again. Resource time is the ultimate resource in a real-time strategy game. What you use with your time is absolutely critical. Now that all of the gold mines are mined out, the only real resource that you are going to be gaining is mana and hit points, natural regeneration, and mana. At this point, though, well, we are looking at the Obsidian statues providing hit points and mana to the Lich and that Death Knight, who may be able to win these battles outright. There goes a web onto that Fairy Dragon. damage onto that fairy dragon now as the ancients are joining in on the fight as well. Druid of the Claw trying to retreat back. We are looking at a resurrection on the Fire Lord. Oh, there was a chimera overhead. It was able to finish off an obsidian statue. That is huge. Being able to finish off an obsidian statue at this point means that one obsidian statue has to work overtime to get both. In comes the chimera here. It is in a little bit of trouble as it's going to end up taking a lot of damage, and it is next to these moonwalls trying to fight their way through. The hippogriff staying close by obsidian statue trying to recharge all the way back, and the Fire Lord is now back out onto the field. All right, there is a soul burn onto the Death Knight. The Death Knight is trying to retreat back, and are we going to see damage onto that Lich? Lich trying to retreat back once more. Druid of the Claw back in bear form. Rejuvenation onto that Fire Lord as he's able to stick around a little while longer. Staff of Preservation saving the bear back once again. Hippogriffs are trying to still retreat all the way back as the Fire Lord gets an anti-magic potion and a moonstone as well. Every bit of gold coming in from EnTe's army is absolutely huge as the Naga Sea Witch is slowly getting resurrected again. More Crypt Fiends are joining in on the fight. We are looking at, well, we're looking at, where is the Chimera? Did the Chimera get taken out? It looks like the Chimera was taken out here. Naga Sea Witch trying to get resurrected here. We are looking at Frost Armor over. Oh, there is the Volcano right there being used, trying to get in a couple of stuns. The Naga Sea Witch doesn't look like it will be able to stick around very long. Meanwhile, Druid of the Claw needs to get a little bit more hit points, and we are now looking at the Tree of Eternity joining in on the fight as well. Ancient of Wonders is here. We're looking at plenty of battles as the Hippogriff, Dark Ranger could be in trouble. Well, no, Dark Ranger not in trouble. The Druid of Claw could be in trouble. Fire Lord is definitely in trouble. Needs to get more hit points. Gonna use it from those moonwalls. Most likely, these moonwalls are absolutely full, but are unable to do very much of anything. Fire Lord needs to get more healing going as much as it can. There's another rejuvenation as we're looking at the Naga Sea Witch about to make its way back out. All right, another soul burn onto the Death Knight. A little bit of damage over time, but the Naga Sea Witch isn't going to be able to get repaired. Are we seeing the repair onto the altar? Yes, we are, but not enough as we are looking at the Lich with a great Frost Nova there. More battle raging on here. Staff of Preservation just moves a bear 6 feet, and that is it as the Tree of Eternity was standing there, and there is HoT with the GG. EnTe coming out on top, and a couple of lead changes. HoT coming out of the gate. HoT able to keep EnTe's Death Knight at level 1 while his own Fire Lord got to level 3. And then kind of sputtered out and stalled for a little bit of time, allowing EnTe to catch up. After EnTe caught up, both sides pretty much trying to mine out everywhere on the map. Both sides didn't feel like they wanted to engage for it felt like 10-15 minutes. HoT coming out ahead in one of those major battles, and it looked like he would be able to shut the door on EnTe, except EnTe had great control of his obsidian statues, allowing the game to go long. 2 obsidian statues, 3 undead heroes, one of them, well, 2 undead heroes, the Death Knight and the Lich. Dark Ranger was taken out earlier, was all EnTe really needed to slowly chip away at HoT's army and then come away with the victory. Yeah, couldn't say who would win. That was a great game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.